चैप्टर 1 इंट्रोडक्शन टू अकाउंटिंग एंड इट्स टर्मिनोलॉजी में ये थियरी टॉपिक्स है जिसमें सबसे पहले ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ अकाउंटिंग. फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज परमानेंट रिकॉर्ड. एक ऑब्जेक्टिव है बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स प्रिपेयर करने का कि हमारे पास उसका परमानेंट रिकॉर्ड रहे. मैंडेटरी लेजिटिमेट रिक्वायरमेंट है 7 years. मीन्स बिजनेस में रिक्वायर टू कीप्स इट्स बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स फॉर 7 years. बट बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स आइदर राइटिंग में बुक्स से प्रिपेयर करे या यूज ऑफ कंप्यूटर्स यानी इंटेंजिबल फॉर्म में. इट फैसिलिटेट्स परमानेंट रिकॉर्ड ऑफ बिजनेस ट्रांजेक्शन. Second is to know effect of each transaction. Each and every economic business transaction has impact on its profitability and financial position. So to know about effect of each transaction, books of accounts are prepared. To know about influential factors. Influential factors means stimulating factors. जो profitability और financial position में किसी न किसी तरह का alteration लाते, changes लाते, that factors can be traced with the help of books of accounts. Third is next one is to determine tax liability. Tax determination means different type of taxes are imposed by government, direct taxes and indirect taxes. तो टैक्स कितना कैलकुलेट करना है, टैक्स कैसे डिटरमाइन होगा, इट इज कैलकुलेटेड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स. बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स ऑलवेज गिव इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट इनकम ऑफ द टैक्स पेयर और इनकम ऑफ द बिजनेस, एंड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ इनकम, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ प्रॉफिट और लॉस एज पर प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट, the tax imposition is done by tax authorities. So tax liability is decided on the basis of profit, and profit can be calculated on the basis of profit and loss account, which is part of books of accounts. So it's one of the important objective. Next is to know about quantum of payables. Now business receives goods on credit basis, also receives financial credit, but how much amount is to be paid for raw material to outsiders is known as payables or liability, and that liability can be traced, can be calculated on the basis of set books of accounts. Balance sheet से उसका पता चलता है कि how much amount is payable to an outsiders. To know about quantum of receivables, जैसे business credit पे goods खरीदता है वैसे credit पे goods बेचता है, that amount recoverable from the customers on future date is called debtors and receivables. So quantum of receivables means the size of receivable, how much amount is to be received by the business from its debtors is called receivables, and as on 31st March, last date of accounting period, a quantum of receivables can be known as per books of accounts. Next point is to measure profitability. Every year at the end of the year 31st March, books of accounts are closed, profit and loss account and balance sheet is prepared. Profit and loss account is prepared to know about the profitability. Profit or loss is ascertained for the period of 1 year, 1st April to 31st March. How much profit is earned by the business can be known with the help of books of accounts. As well as this profitability, next point is financial position, economic status of business enterprise, and it is also known with the help of books of accounts. Another financial tool is used, it is known as balance sheet. Balance sheet is prepared as on last date of accounting period, that is 31st March. It has two dimensions, liabilities and assets, means source of fund and application of fund, employment of capital and capital employed, how much capital is procured from different sources of finance, internal and external, and where that capital is being used in form of non-current assets, current assets, investment. It is clearly evaluated with the help of balance sheet, and balance sheet is also part of books of accounts. तो इकोनॉमिक स्टेटस के बारे में जानना है या प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी के लिए जानना है, ये भी एक इंपॉर्टेंट ऑब्जेक्टिव है. इट कैन बी फुलफिल्ड विद द हेल्प ऑफ बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स. Last point is to detect and avoid errors. There is a chance of errors and manipulation in prepared books of accounts. Chances रहते हैं, and most of errors are committed by employees who are at the realm of affairs of books of accounts, means who manages the books of accounts. So to avoid these errors and mistakes and to control them, these books of accounts play vital role, important role. एक तरह से indirect moral control impose किया जाता है employees and accountants personnel के ऊपर to avoid that fraud and mistakes in the books of accounts. After that, next topic is advantages of accounting. Advantages में पहला point है availability of accounting information. All type of important vital accounting information is readily available from books of accounts as and when required for decision making process, for use of business, like business required to procure finance from outside market. बैंक के पास से बिजनेस को लोन लेना है तो उसके लिए रेडीली अकाउंटिंग इंफॉर्मेशन इज अवेलेबल फ्रॉम बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज टू नो अबाउट प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी. टू नो अबाउट प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी, प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट इज प्रिपेयर्ड एज ऑन लास्ट डेट, ईयर एंड डेट 31st March. And to know about financial status, balance sheet is prepared again as on last date 31st March. But difference between profitability and financial position is profitability is for the year, for the whole accounting period from 1st April to 31st March. Whereas financial position is ascertained as on that particular date 31st March. तो प्रॉफिट पूरे साल का होता है, फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन उस पर्टिकुलर डे की होती है कि उस दिन एसेट्स और लायबिलिटी की पोजीशन क्या है, बिकॉज इनडायरेक्टली ये फाइनेंशियल स्टेटस को शो करता है, सॉल्वेंसी इंसॉल्वेंसी कंडीशन को हाईलाइट करता है. इफ लायबिलिटी इज मोर देन असेट्स, बिजनेस इज in insolvent condition, and if assets is more than liability, business is in solvent condition, means business is in favorable condition कि business can discharge all its liability. So with the liability is more, so weak economic condition, and assets is more, so favorable economic condition. That economic condition can be traced out of this balance sheet. So to know about financial status. Next is tax planning. For tax planning, means for imposition of tax, different type of tax, government requires to inspect books of accounts. But from business viewpoint, on the basis of set prepared books of accounts, the determination of tax from books of accounts is easily possible, either direct tax or indirect tax. Indirect tax in form of GST, goods and service tax, and direct tax in form of income tax, which is calculated on the basis of computation of income of individual with 5 different sources. But whatever tax planning is required to be executed, either direct tax or indirect tax, it can be done with the help of books of accounts. So books of accounts से tax planning किया जाता है. After that, valuation of business. If businessman want to sell off its entire business, पूरा business sale करना चाहता है, then how to calculate the purchase consideration of the business? Business की value कैसे determine की जाए? It is also done on the basis of books of accounts. Balance sheet will give complete idea, because balance sheet has 2 dimension on left hand side, that is capital and liability, and 1 dimension on right hand side, it is called asset. If 100 rupees is asset is there and 40 rupees liability, indirectly we can conclude that capital investment made by the owner is of 60 rupees. That 60 rupees is investment by owner, and that is the value of the business. So that is called purchase consideration to be paid by the purchaser of the business while at the time of purchase of business. तो ये कंसिडरेशन डिसाइड करने में, वैल्यू ऑफ बिजनेस डिसाइड करने में एट द टाइम ऑफ सेल ऑफ बिजनेस, दिस बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स इज हेल्पफुल. नेक्स्ट इज डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रोसेस. different users use prepared books of accounts for their decision making process. जब सोल प्रोप्राइटर और पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की बात करें तो वहां पे यूज ऑफ बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स इज लिमिटेड फॉर एक्सटर्नल पार्टीज. बट इन केस ऑफ कंपनी फॉर्म ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, its books of accounts is known as published annual account or annual reports, and it is available to all stakeholders of the business enterprise. There are different stakeholders or interested parties to the business or to the company, and every stakeholder is required to take the important financial decision for their financial interest. That decision is taken on the basis of books of accounts, means information available in books of accounts. तो उसके लिए ये एक important role play करता है to take decisions. After that, as an evidence, sometimes business requires to present its financial information as an evidence, either to tax authorities or to government or to banking or financial institution for procurement of finance. In all these circumstances, these books of accounts play important role, because rules and regulations and principles are followed, and that principles are followed, so books of accounts are reliable. The disputes among partners can be resolved. Disputes among partners in case of partnership form can be resolved, and it can be placed as an evidence to external parties as and when it is required. Next is comparison with past operations. Now comparison with past operations is required to take future decisions. For future betterment of the business enterprise, it is required to take decision, but that decision is taken on the basis of past information. That if information contains specific rules, regulations, that regulations which do not change, so present profitability and financial position can compare with past performance, and future decisions can be taken easily. As well as different information about planning and development of business enterprise is also readily available from books of accounts. Next is moral control. Books of accounts prepare moral control over employees. Just like in previous case advantages, this objectives we have discussed, that to detect and avoid errors from employees which is committed in books of accounts. The same type of situation is here. Moral control can be imposed on employees, so fraud and manipulation can be restricted, can be avoided, can be reduced. So books of accounts prepared is used as an evidence, so chances of fraud by employees may be reduced. Next is corrective measures. Business required to take corrective actions on the basis of past information. Sometimes future decisions are taken on the basis of past information. If information is readily available, to avoid that repetition of such errors, means books of accounts have certain errors. That errors can be repealed, can be cancelled, can be rectified, and future decision can be taken on the basis of that past information. So corrective actions can be taken. After that, next topic is limitation of accounting. First point is non-financial transactions are not recorded. Those transactions which cannot be measured in terms of money. Evaluation is not possible in monetary terms like loyalty, efficiency, or honesty of employees. These are qualitative features or characteristics which cannot be evaluated in numerical terms, monetary terms, so cannot be part of books of accounts. ये एक सबसे बड़ी limitation है. Next is stable value of money. While preparing books of accounts, one assumption is made that purchasing power of rupee remains constant, means does not change, but reality is different. Purchasing power of money go on decreasing year after year, but this fact is not presented by books of account. So biggest limitation of accounting is this one, that stable value of money is assumed in preparation of books of accounts. For example, asset purchased today, an asset is required to be purchased after 5 years. It has different monetary value. एक एसेट आज परचेस करे और 5 साल बाद परचेस करे तो ऑब्वियसली 5 साल बाद उसकी प्राइस बढ़ गई होगी, लेकिन बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स ऑलवेज शो बुक वैल्यू ऑफ असेट, मींस असेट वैल्यू ऑफ असेट आफ्टर डेप्रिसिएशन. ईयर आफ्टर डेप्रिसिएशन जो वैल्यू है वही शो की जाती है. सो देयर इज नो इम्पैक्ट ऑफ चेंजिंग परचेसिंग पावर ऑफ मनी इन प्रिपरेशन ऑफ बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स. Next is historical transaction. Only historical transactions are prepared in books of accounts, means only past information, only post-mortem of books of account. There is certain chances of guidance for future decisions, but only and only historical information is presented. So this is again important limitation. Next one is avoidance of market value. Market value is straightway avoided in preparation of books of accounts. Like in balance sheet, assets are shown always at its book value after charging depreciation. We have no concern about its market value. Market value keeps on changing every day, but market value is not recorded in books of accounts because we purchase assets for facilitation purpose, for creation of infrastructure of the business. So there is no requirement of sale of such asset in short time duration. So business is not concerned about the market value of asset. So always book value is shown. So this is avoidance of market value. Another limitation, use of estimates. Sometimes while preparation of books of accounts, estimation are required. For example, for standing debtors, means outstanding amount to be received from debtors, there is a chance of bad debts. There is a possibility of bad debts. Sale pertaining to current year, means sale relating to current year. And if there is a chance of loss of bad debts from current year sales, it has to be recorded in current accounting period only. For that purpose, estimate is to be made for bad debts reserve, means provision for doubtful debts, and that estimate is made on the basis of past experiences only. So there is a use of certain estimates, and to the extent of use of such estimate, accuracy in preparation of books of accounts is get altered, get hampered due to that reason. After that, dual standards, means duplication of standards. Two types of standards are used in preparation of books of accounts. Like profit and loss account is always prepared at current prices, because current year's revenue expenditure and revenue income is compared in preparation of P&L account to ascertain profit or loss, while balance sheet prepares on the basis of old prices, means acquisition prices of the assets. So these type of dual standards do exist in preparation of books of accounts. Profit and loss account is with current prices and balance sheet is with old prices. So this is all about objectives, advantages and limitations of books of accounts with important summary and key points. Next important is qualitative characteristics of accounting information. Now in qualitative characteristics, there are 4 different characteristics. These characteristics should exist in preparation of books of accounts just to enhance the utility of prepared books of accounts. Out of that, first one is reliability. Reliability means reliable information should be there in the preparation of books of accounts to sustain the trust of user. Information must be errorless, means error-free information should be there. No scope of opinions. There is a certain chances of opinions and manipulation in preparation of books of accounts. To the extent possible, ये हर तरह के opinions को avoid करना चाहिए, and rules and regulations which is to be followed are fixed in preparation of books of accounts. There are certain chances where opinion, like for determination of method for charging depreciation, to determine the rate about provision for doubtful debts, there is a chance, there is a room, there is a space for opinion of accountants, means books of accountants, then to that extent opinions are allowed. After that, means over and above that estimated items, no opinions, no manipulations from any insider or outsider, means businessmen or outsiders, so as to enhance the reliability of accounting information. Next is relevance. Relevant information should be provided in the books of accounts, because in case of company, form of organization, as we have discussed, that different users required to take their financial decision about their financial interest. The stakeholders means interested parties of accounting information. तो हर एक पार्टी के लिए जो भी रिलेवेंट इंफॉर्मेशन है, it should be readily available from books of accounts. So reliability and relevance. After that, next is understandability. The books of accounts prepared should be understandable in nature, easy to understand. So avoidance of complicated aspects and interpretation of books of accounts should be made easy to the users. उसके लिए guidelines, complete information, use of charts, diagrams, supplementary information, cash flow, fund flow statement, over and above profit and loss and balance sheet can be used. So information should be in a self-explanatory form to be presented in preparation of books of accounts. ये है यूजर, ये प्रिपेयरर्स की साइड से एक रिक्वायरमेंट है कि इजी टू अंडरस्टैंड, दैट इंफॉर्मेशन शुड बी easy to understand. But from the user's viewpoint, that preliminary knowledge of business and bookkeeping, means accounting, is expected from users so that they can analyze and evaluate information for their decisions. Next is comparability. Now there is two types of comparison is made for decision making process. One is intra-firm comparison, when a firm's books of accounts is compared with its past record, and second is inter-firm, when a firm's books of accounts is compared with another firm. So decisions are taken on the basis of this comparison, and for comparison, uniform base of preparation for books of accounts is required. To bring uniformity, one Institute of Chartered Accounts of India, ICAI, is working at our country level to frame rules, regulation and standards. So comparability is another essential qualitative characteristics of accounting information. So four qualitative characteristics. One is reliability, second is relevance, understandability and comparability. After that, users of accounting information, means who are the users of accounting information. When we talk about users, we always talk about company form of organization, because in case of sole proprietor and partnership form of organization, the use of accounting information is restricted, is confined to the owners only, owners and management only. But in case of company form of organization, there are different type of users. Let's discuss different users, how they evaluate accounting information. First is management. Management, who manages the company. Management is consist of board of directors in case of company form of organization. They are selective representatives from shareholders who are having control over the company, over the management of the company. So management requires to evaluate books of accounts to know about their efficiency, how efficiently they have managed their company, their business. To evaluate that efficiency level, management required to inspect its books of accounts, standards, formats, how these standards are used in the books of accounts, then standards compared with the actual performance. Standards are compared with the actual performance, and deviations. Deviations mean differences, the variances are found out, how to rectify such variances and differences, that strategies is to be designed. So important role of management to evaluate books of accounts. Next is shareholders. Shareholders are the real owners of the company. They have made investment, their financial investment to the business. They are interested in knowing about the safety of their funds, and as well as the regularity of the return in terms of dividend. How much dividend they are getting right now, and what is the potential of increase in the rate of dividend in near future. This is the lookout of these existing shareholders who have invested their fund. So next part is potential shareholders. Same like existing shareholders, potential shareholders also look for books of accounts for regularity of return in terms of return on capital investment. Return on capital investment or return on investment means investment का return कितना होगा और dividend के rate क्या होगा, regularity of dividend है कि नहीं, ये सब check करेंगे potential shareholders. Next is creditors. Creditors means those amount which is to be paid to outsiders for purchase of either goods, services or finance. Means creditors are of two types, basically short term and long term. Short term creditors usually is formed for goods, for purchase of goods, amount is to be paid. And long term creditors, example is bank loan, means business have procured finance from banking institution and that loan amount is to be repaid in near future. So short term long term finances is been procured. तो creditors क्यों books of accounts inspect करेंगे about the safety of their fund invested to the business, उनको टाइम पे वो रिटर्न रिकवरी होगी कि नहीं, उसके लिए फॉर कलेक्शन ऑफ देयर ड्यूज दे आर इंटरेस्टेड इन इंस्पेक्शन ऑफ बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स. Next stakeholder is employees. Now employees are getting salary, wages, compensation, different type of compensation in terms of allowances, perquisites. So they want to know about the regularity of their recognition in terms of remuneration like salary, bonus, job security. Employees demand returns on the basis of profitability of the business. More profitability of the business, they require more return from the business. So they want to know about the profitability, financial position, so that they can raise their demand, they can represent their demand towards management for their own financial interest. Next is tax authorities. Now different tax authorities working in India for direct and indirect taxes. This tax authority evaluate our books of accounts for imposement of taxes. There is different type of tax. अगर हम एग्जाम्पल ले जीएसटी का, तो 0.25 से लेके 28% तक there are 6 different schedules and different rates of taxes are applicable on different set of commodities. ये किस तरह से डिजाइन होता है? These tax authorities evaluate these books of accounts of different businesses and different industries, and this rate of for different type of goods and services can be determined. So tax authorities के लिए भी एक important tool है for determination of taxes. Next is customers. Customer is the king of the market. They dominate the market situation actually. So customers wants to know about the regularity of the product, services, changes in the product, means development of product, research and development executed by the business, how innovative products are developed by the company for creation of or upliftment of utility of products. That is important part for customers. Foreign entrepreneurs invest their fund to the business in terms of foreign direct investment and foreign institutional investment as per globalization policy of India 1991, liberalization, privatization and globalization, that is new economic reforms. In year 1991 it was introduced. FDI and FI, there is free movement of capital, entrepreneurship, labor, in सबकी free movement है. तो FDI, FII, they want to invest, these foreign entrepreneurs want to invest their fund to the business. So again they want to know about the solvency, financial condition, profitability of the business as well as political stability of the business. Next is regulatory bodies. Regulatory bodies like Security and Exchange Board of India or Insurance Regulatory Development Authority. This authority frames rules, regulations for the company for smooth and efficient management of the company, and that whether that rules, regulations have been followed or not is checked by these regulatory bodies, so that they can further these rules, regulations can be revised, can be changed. Next is professional bodies. As per Institute of Chartered Accounts of India, the guidelines are prepared, instructions are given and standards are designed to guide accounting industry, accounting profession in the entire country, and it was started from the year 1949 to bring uniformity in preparation of books of accounts. So the books of accounts of 2 different regions, 2 different industries, 2 different businesses can be compared. In preparation of such guidelines and rules and regulations, other autonomous body like Institute of Chartered Secretaries of India, Institute of Cost and Works Accounts of India also play their vital important role for formulation of guidance and policies. Next is research and analysis. Different type of research institutions like CRISIL, CIBIL, ICRA, these research institutions evaluate these books of accounts to know about profitability and financial position, how this profitability is earned and how it will be continued in near future. Credit rating is given by this type of research and analyst agencies, and it increases the goodwill of that company in the market. So researchers also use these books of accounts. Next part is government. For efficient and effective management in the country, government required to inspect these different type of books of accounts. The most important role of government is redistribution income, means to collect the income from haves and remit it to have-nots, just to reduce the gulf or difference between the rich and poor, to reduce that inequality of income between different classes of society. That role is played by the government. So government forms different type of policy and regulations from these books of accounts. Now types of accounting system. There are 2 types of accounting system, double entry and Deshinama system. Double entry system is invented by monk Luca Pacioli, father and mathematician from Italy. he has given the double entry system. It has two dimension, two aspect. One aspect is debit and second aspect is credit. Twofold effect of each economic business transaction. Next system is Deshinama system. It is same as double entry system, but the writing methodology and presentation is slightly different. It's an ancient method in present accounting situation as per International Accounting Standard Committee. Books of accounts to be prepared from 1st April to 31st March, and for return of income purpose, each and every HSC of this nation has to submit its books of accounts to the tax authorities in intangible form, means computerized accounting system is required. So nowadays only double entry system is in use, applicable throughout the nation. Now next is basis of accounting methods. There are three important bases: cash basis, accrual basis. Accrual basis is also known as mercantile basis, and third one is mixed basis. If we observe cash basis, as per cash basis, there is a distinction in preparation of books of accounts, means prepare as per 1st April to 31st March. But only element of cash is taken into consideration while preparing this set of books of accounts, means only movement of cash, either cash inflow or cash outflow. But as per accrual system, clear-cut distinction for accounting period is made. Only 1 year's income is compared with that year's expense. As per matching cost with revenue concept, correct profitability can be determined only with the use of this accrual system. This system enhances the comparability and understandability in preparation of books of account. So worldwide, this accrual or mercantile system is only applicable for preparation of books of accounts. Cash system has its own limitations because comparison is not facilitated as per cash basis, because it always focus on the movement of cash, either cash inflow and cash outflow. So comparison is not there. For comparison and for future decision, only accrual mercantile system is used. So cash basis is a faulty system of preparation of books of account. Mixed basis system is also have inclusion of cash basis to some extent. So use of these two method, cash basis and mixed basis, strictly restricted, avoided. Only accrual and mercantile basis books of accounts are prepared so as to ascertain correct profit or loss for that accounting period, and year after year it can be compared and future decisions can be easily taken. एक एग्जांपल से समझते हैं यहाँ पे कि if salary for 1 year is 100 rupees, 20 rupees is outstanding for that accounting period, it is added. This is called outstanding expense. If rent is prepaid, means paid in advance for next accounting period, it is subtracted. If interest is received 50 rupees and 10 rupees is yet to be received for current accounting period, it is added. And if income is received in advance for next accounting period, it is subtracted. So outstanding expense is added, prepaid expense is subtracted, accrued income, receivable income is added, and income received in advance is eliminated from current year's income, so that current year's income and current year expense can be placed to profit and loss account, can be compared easily, and correct profit or loss can be determined. So all over, in all type of organization, all type of business, only accrual or mercantile system of books of account is prepared. Thank you.